என்னேசுவே என் ஜீவன் நீரல்லோ, என்னேசுவே என் வேலன் நீரல்லோ, என்னேசுவே என் ஜீவன் நீரல்லோ, என்னேசுவே என் வேலன் நீரல்லோ. சிலுவையின் பாதையில் வெளிச்சம் நீரல்லோ, நேசரும் முகம் கண்டு இன்றும் களிப்பேன். சிலுவையின் பாதையில் வெளிச்சம் நீரல்லோ, நேசரும் முகம் கண்டு இன்றும் களிப்பேன். மரண இருளின்
Praise Lord. Greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to all the viewers of Milgi TV and YouTube channel. And today, episode 66 is going to be run, and we have Reverend Dr. Bhavani Rajan today as a co-host for this program. And regarding, just I have to, though he is not new to this platform, as a protocol, I have to give some intro about him. He's a Bible teacher, preacher, pastor, witnessing Christ in multi-religious pluralistic contests. Honorary doctorate he has acquired in University of Jerusalem, and also he has been in the area of pastorate in Orchard Lutheran Church right from 1997 to 2017 in various pastorates. He was there, and he's a research scholar also. And other than the spiritual side, he is also having a secular experience in accountancy, and he was working in foreign countries in that secular job. So, praise Lord, we welcome you in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for being co-host. It's a great privilege for us. And also today, our dear brother Venkatesan Walter, as he is going to present the book Today Matters by John C. Maxwell. We know well about Maxwell. He's a reputed, leader, and also especially he is an expert in giving leadership training, and he has written numerous books. And last week I presented a book written by John C. Maxwell, Be a People Person. It was presented as the 65th episode here. And also today, the 66th episode by John C. Maxwell, his book Today Matters. It's usual that we are rather very careless about today, or we make so much fuss about today or in our days. But we must have a note of it that today is very important. As we know, as yesterday has gone away and tomorrow is uncertain. And we people, sometimes we make exaggeration about our yesterday, and we overestimate tomorrow and we underestimate today. But the success lies in the key, what we have now today. So Today Matters by John C. Maxwell will be a very good book to be followed by all the leaders who ought to be and who want to be. So our presenter, Venkatesan Walter is not here, I think so, and he will be coming soon, I hope so. And before that, I got to intro Pastor J. Paul from Odisha. Can you come in the screen, Pastor J. Paul? J. Paul from Odisha. He is doing his ministry. He was working there with Operation Mobilization for more than 10 years, and now he is doing independently his ministry in Odisha, in that Gajapati area. So I welcome Pastor J. Paul, and I also welcome Joseph Sundardas here, and he has been already here for a long time. This platform, he is not new to this platform, and he was assisting as a co-host in this Speaking Books English Forum. And also we have Sylvanus from Odisha. He is working as a missionary for Faith Good Works Fellowship. And I welcome both Sylvanus and as well as dear brother Joseph Sundardas. Welcome. And now we have our presenter, dear brother Venkatesan Walter. Praise the Lord, yeah. So we welcome you for this episode, episode 26, and we are expecting a great book by a great author to be presented for a great brother, Venkatesan Walter. So over to you. And now it's your time, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, for great introduction. And I'm really honored to hear all those um, valuable words. And I'm really privileged to be part of this team, and especially uh, highly qualified and the elite people are sitting here as a panelist and presenting the book. And it's a great honor. And really, I praise God for this wonderful opportunity, and I consider this as a great privilege to take the book by John Maxwell. And as we all know, that he is known for his leadership efficiency, and Maxwell and almost all his writings is focused on leadership, and especially the book which I have. Uh, yeah, this is the book that I'm just reviewing, and John Maxwell is a motivational teacher, best-selling author, and he uses many practice and valuable lessons, and he shows as the way how to seize the day, and should not misuse or unuse the day, but instead he is helping us to use the day. A lot of books are claiming to change our lives, but there are not good books to give us that day by day or step by step or little by little how the small steps can be taken to lead a successful life. So he gives in that way, and in this book he has written very uh, nearly 12 important lessons that every day we have to follow. So focusing on prioritize our agenda, how to learn how to decide every day what is really important to you, and then get it done. And he is giving kind of ideas to stimulate our thinking so that we can think in the right direction, so that our not only our lives, even our thinking will be useful to the society and the people around us. And he is giving much importance to um, families, values, and see there are many vocabularies that every day we are using, but he is using those vocabularies as a main topic. And especially in this, there are 12 practices that he is advocating, and here are my favorite takeaways from this readings. And he is mentioning 12 daily practices which guarantees tomorrow's success. And he is saying that it is a daily dozen. So 12, he means dozen. So 12 daily practices which helps us to have a successful life. Number one, attitude. So he's saying that to choose and display the right attitude daily. And number two, priorities. Number three, health, family, thinking, commitment, finance, faith, relationship, generosity, values, and growth. See, when I was going through his reading, most of the vocabulary or most of the words is very common to us, but he is taking the common word and giving it value to that common word. So just let me go one by one. It is really something thrilling, and since it is nearly 400 pages book, and we are having only for maybe 25 to 35 minutes, so in that I will be covering all those things. So most of the means in our life we'll be focusing or concentrating on successful life. So everybody is trying our best to have a successful life, but in that there are many misconceptions of success. He is mentioning that. So we believe success is impossible, therefore we criticize it, and we believe success is a mystical, so we search for it. We believe success comes from the luck, so we hope for it. And we believe success is a productivity, so we work for it. And we believe success comes from the opportunity, so we wait for it. We believe success comes from the leverage, so we power up it. And we believe success comes from the connection, so we network for it. And we believe success comes from the recognition, so we strive for it. And we believe success is an event, so we schedule it. This is what he says. And almost all these things are misunderstood by the people. And since it is a misunderstanding, therefore they are taking the wrong direction. Of course, seems to be right one, but it is wrong. The secret of our success determined by the daily schedule that we make for ourselves. And if you make a few key decisions and then manage them well in your daily life, and you will succeed. And you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. So this is what he is saying, that if you want to have a success in your life, you have to change something which you are actually doing. And you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. So each is a process, whether it is a success or failure. It is not accident. Even success is not accident, failure also it's not accident. Both are having the equal weightage, and it is on the process. So you are preparing for something, either for failure or success. The secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his time when it comes. So that's what he is saying in this. And there are three kinds of people he mentions. Number one, the people who do not know what to do. Number two, those who know what to do but they don't do. And number three, those who know what to do and follow through. So he is dividing people into three categories. The people who uh, do not know what to do, that is one category. And the other people are, they do not know what to do. They know what to do but they don't do. And the third category, the people who know what to do and follow through. So these people are having a success. So number one, attitude. In that attitude is the beginning of all our efforts, he says. So fix your mind on the factions, not on the feelings. So focus on the possibilities, not on the problems. So our attitude towards others often determines their attitude towards us. So the way we treat others, that's what Jesus says, the way we treat others, we will be treated by those people. So the attitude plays very number one. And he says that the thoughts in our mind will always have a more important than the things in our life. So giving much priority to attitude. So our attitude plays vital role. Uh, and there are many things he is quoting, and in that book, he you will find much and more, including exercises at the end of every chapters. And he gives many illustrations. And he not only illustration, it's very events. almost bringing all the history into his writings, and there is no fictions. Even to prove his point, he is not bringing any fiction story, but bringing all the illustration which had happened in the history. So it's end of every chapter there will be exercise, and in the end of the exercise he will be putting some kind of decisions which has to be taken, and the schedule which we have to prepare. So those things he is really dealing very nicely, and the attitude, he is giving much priority to the attitude. And he says that what is behind us and what lies before us is a small things, but what is happening within us is more important. From there only the attitude comes. Therefore, he says that decide to change your bad attitude areas. So why attitude is more important? He is deciding take responsibility for your attitudes. So attitude plays vital role. Many people in this world mistakenly believe their attitude is set, and some people think that it is already it's pre-planned. It's not that. We have to we can change it and we can improve it, and the attitude can be improved very lot. And we can change our bad attitude into right attitude or good attitudes, and the thinking, acting, talking, conduct, everything can be easily changed. So therefore we have to develop a high appreciation for life, and we have to place a high value on people. So therefore we have to recognize that our attitude needs daily adjustment. So every day our attitude has to be adjust every day. Find something positive in everything, he says, and remove negative words from your vocabulary. These are the suggestions he gives in order to change our attitudes. And he is trying to say that eliminate this kind of words like I cannot, I won't, if I don't, like that. All the negative words just eliminate it, and make like I can, I will, I know, absolutely, I will try. Yeah, like that words just you add. Expressing gratitude to others daily. That is a um, good attitude that he says. So through attitude, we can have a good life. So every day we have to plan for our attitude, he says. Number two, he gives priorities. Why priority is important? Because priority only gives us which is highly important, which is less important, which is secondary important. So there are many times we fail to do the things. We fail to do the things because we make the second one first. So he is the one I think is Stephen Covey has written another book called First Things First. So everything has to, and means the first thing has to fall in the first place. If we change in the vice versa, there will be some problems. So devoting little of yourself to everything means committing a great deal of yourself to nothing. So here and there, here and there, here and there, if you do a lot of things, you see, if we are, some people will say that it's all-rounded, but all-rounder cannot be generalized. Maybe it is possible with some people generalized. And we cannot change time, only we can change our priorities. We can change our priorities. So the more we change our priorities, we can have. Can you able to hear? And the Chinese author says that beside the noble art of getting things done, there is a noble art of leaving things undone. The wisdom of life consists of eliminating non-essentials. So the way we give priority, which means how to eliminate the non-essentials. essentials.
I think he has got some network problem, connectivity. Um, Today matters, we cannot get any synopsis of that book in website, but we know well about the author John C. Maxwell, who is a reputed writer in leadership. And I think he has published so far some 19 million books about the leadership. We know that he is conducting seminars and also so many camps for training people, and so many people have witnessed about John C. Maxwell, a very good author, a very good writer, and he is having great exposition in making leadership. So far, he was talking about the attitude, that through attitudes we can have a successful life. That is a positive approach. We should not have anything negative. Negative approach will definitely won't help anyone to improve their talent or improve their leadership. So the attitude is more important, and he was talking about that. Previously, he was talking, there are three kinds of people. Well, the first one is they don't know what to do. The second one, they know, but they know, but they don't want to do it. And the third one, they know and what to do, and they follow through. So the three types of people we can identify in our lifetime. That is, first one, they do not know what to do. The second one, they know what to do, but they don't want to do it. And third one is they know what to do and follow through. So if there are these three kinds of people are there. So for a leadership, the third one, you must know what to do and we have to follow through it. So that is more important. And another thing, we have to eliminate certain words. That is some negative approach. That is, I can't, I will not, is not possible. And very often, even in this previous book, Be a People Person by John C. Maxwell, he is also telling of the same thing. That is, we should avoid such things. And recently, when I was presenting a book by a biography of Dr. Emil Jabbar, and in that I read that he did not like these words, I cannot, I will not, I won't. So the same thing John C. Maxwell is putting forth here as a good lead. Dear brother has come. Brother, please continue, brother. We know that you have got some connectivity problem. Please continue, brother. Can you hear me, brother Walter? Brother, please continue your presentation. Hello, can you hear me, brother? Still he is having that problem. And another thing he was talking about, the priorities. The priority that each one must have. What is our top priority? And the next one, and about the third one. So, regarding when he was talking about priorities, all rounders cannot be generalized. And we are very familiar with one proverb: master of all arts is a jack of all arts is master of none. So when we must just analyze the priorities, what we have to give, the top priority, the next second priority, and the third one. So if we list out such priorities in our lives, then it will be very, helpful, and it will be also a fruitful for others also, and it will be also a blessing to every one of us. So he was talking all these things, and Dr. David Karunahararan, if you got some points about this today matters, if you have any idea, you can just share till our brother Venkatesan Walter comes.
Thank you, Nan. Thank you. It's a very apt topic. Today
Yes.
matters. So I thought he will give some practical methods and some practices to be followed, but it's entirely different and it is really thought-provoking. I think Brother has come, but still whether it is possible for him to continue.
Brother, please, you can continue, brother.
Walter? Walter?
Yeah.
Brother,
Yeah. I'm sorry. Literally, I'm extremely sorry for the
that's all
interruption.
right.
Yeah.
We know it.
So, in the second point in that, it says about priorities. So in priorities, he is saying that every day I will live my life according to my own priorities. That's what he is trying to say. And one morning, just my son came to me and said that, Daddy, just you write the 6 points which you are going to do tomorrow. Then I have written. Then immediately said that which is most important, just you do it tomorrow morning. So I found that same things from here. So when he was reading and he found these things, and he is giving a kind of some practical tips that evaluate priorities every day. Number one is evaluating priorities every day. Number two, plan your time carefully. See, in India we prioritizing our things is entirely different. The reason is we have a mentality follow your. So making plan is more important, and delegate whenever the possible things are there, and invest in the right people daily. So every day you have to use your time with the right people. That is also priorities. Otherwise, what will happen? Most of our time will be wasted in talking to other people. So in India, almost all the people's time being wasted by talking all the nonsense. So we don't keep the priorities in our list. So focusing on our list is more important. And then the third is health. He gives much priority to health because the man's body is composed of three things: no, body, soul, spirit. So if we don't give much priority to our body, automatically soul and the spirit will be affected. Therefore, giving much priority to health is more important. Why health is matter today? The reason is our health impacts our emotionally and intellectually, even spiritually. So therefore, we have to give much priority to our health. Health often determines quality as well as quantity of life. See, and I think last year, not last year, last episode we were discussing about how many pastors are the leaders Christian leaders are being means they are what to say, they are entering into the next life. Young people are being entered into next life just due to some of the physical problems. So therefore, he says that giving much importance to health. It is easier to maintain good health than to regain it. See, we spend a lot of money in regaining this our health rather than protecting it, and almost all our money, our resources, everything goes in that. And he's quoting one person's quotation saying that man try his best to means he gives his help to gain wealth, and when he is become old and he gives all the wealth to get his health. That's what he says. So even our breakfast time, lunch, and the dinner, the diet, he is saying that the exercise that we have to do, everything is discussing in that. So keeping our health is more important. Do our work and have enjoyment in that in our work. Find your uh, space and accept your personal work. We have to give much priority to our own health as well as and our work. So here he discuss about our health. Then he goes to family. Family is one of the great institutions which God has meant for human being. Of course, animal kingdom also has their own family, but still our human being having the family is entirely different. And two families he is taking for his studies, and comparing those two families and giving kind of what to say their their reputation after a long means nearly 300 years. They are he is giving kind of two steady Jonathan Edwards, and another is Dukes. And he says Duke and Jonathan Edwards, they were contemporaries. Both are contemporaries, lived in the same era, but one fellow's life became very horrible and terrible, and people not able to willing to follow it. And other person's life, it was really made great impact. Jonathan Edwards' life has been impacted much, and his generation become so powerful people and so intellectual and very useful and blessed to the humanity. So here he says that even in the Duke family, nearly 180 people were, 140 were criminals, 60 were habitual thieves, and 50 were common prostitutes, like that. And in this side, he says that 13 college presidents, Jonathan's generations, and 65 professors, 100 lawyers, 30 judges, 66 physicians, and 80 people are in the public offices. So these are the impact that family can make in the society. Why family matters? Because while you cannot do much about your ancestors, you can influence your generations or descendants greatly. Easily we can impact our own descendants, and therefore we have to concentrate on the family. The family gives us stability. So the more we are having a kind of family network together, automatically there will be stability in our life. And in that he is discussing a lot of things about family and togetherness, and we have to find a time for the family, give time for the family, and develop your problem solving strategies. Put your family on your calendar first. He's giving some of the suggestions, and create and maintain family traditions. Find ways to spend time together, and keep your marriage healthy first, and express appreciation for each other. Resolve conflict as quickly as possible. So these are the important suggestions you give to make our family stability. The most important thing your father can do for his children is to love their mother. So there he gives family values. So family gives a kind of stability. Therefore, it is very important, he says. And in these 12 areas, if we develop, manage, and we practice, automatically our life will be a kind of life which will be not only successful, even it will be meaningful and it will be useful to others. Then he discussed about the thinking, and the thinking gives us advantage. And see, in thinking, he says that you have to take time for thinking. Why thinking is important, or why thinking is we have to give much priority. Thought is the original source of wealth, all success, all material gain, all great discoveries and inventions, and all achievements. So see, everything which is existing is part of thinking, and everything is invented twice. They say number one is in their imagination, in their thinking, then in reality. Then thinking he is discussing big picture thinking, focused thinking, creative thinking, realistic thinking, strategic thinking, possibility thinking, reflective thinking, shared thinking, unselfish thinking, bottom line thinking. So there are nearly 11 kind of thinking he is discussing. So in that, maximize your strength and stop your weaknesses. No, in the thinking. So the more we are very strong in our mental capacity, automatically everything will fall in the line. So he says that find a place to think, just like a quiet time. No, in that quiet time you will be finding some place, particular place to think, sit and have a quiet time. So he says that for thinking you find a place, and for thinking you set a time. Number three, you find a process that work for you and capture your thoughts. You have to control your thoughts, because otherwise no thoughts will control you. So if you are not able to control your thoughts, then the thoughts will control you. Put your thoughts into action quickly, because every time a person puts an idea across, he finds 10 people who are thought about it before he did, and they only thought about it. See, when we think something, we will be, when we are expressing our ideas, automatically that ideas are not only in our mind, there are some people who are having the same ideas. But only thing is that the still idea is being idea. But when it put into action, then
He has got some audio problem. Next, he was talking about John C. Maxwell was telling that planning in our day-to-day life, it also matters a lot. Planning is very more important. That what he means, because we are spending time, but we must have that question whether we spend the time in the right way, because John C. Maxwell is telling that giving priority to spend time with the right people. So we should not waste our time which is very short to so to say. So we have to choose. Even if you have some, if you want to give some appointment, then we should choose the right person. That's what John C.MAX was telling. And also, I should not waste time, and time is more precious. We know we cannot get back what we already spent the days yesterday. It won't come again. And as already I told, that gone away yesterday and tomorrow is uncertain. Today is certain, and we have to make use of it. And today matters also. Another point he was telling, that health much more important. That we must take care of our body. Our body being the body of Christ, that who lives in our body. So we have to make it holy, as well as we have to make it healthy, and we have to adore our Lord through our body. That's also what Bible says. And very interesting thing that he was talking about, that two persons, contemporaries, Duncan and Jonathan Edward, the two persons, very good examples. I have heard it from many people who are talking about these two persons. Yes, brother, please continue. Just I am
Yeah,
just
sorry.
repeating what you. Uh,
I hear that. Thank you so much, and extremely sorry what is happening. And just
no,
I'll
no,
go
that's all right.
through little fast. That in commitment, there is a another point he is making, that being a single-minded. So being a single-minded, it's a we can just refer to Paul. In his commitment, he was very single-minded man, and do what is right even when you don't feel like it. So sometimes we don't feel like the things that we are doing, but because of our commitment, we have to stick on it. And nothing is easier than saying a word, but nothing is harder than living them day after day, because commitment has its own value. Uh, then after commitment, then he goes to finance. It's very important area, and there are uh, there are many organizations which came up to have a kind of a finance ministry. And here he says a lot of things about the finance, and in that particularly he's saying that the, money is important, but the money won't make you happy. And second is, debt will make you unhappy. Money will not make you happy, but at the same time debt will make you unhappy. So therefore you should not have a debt. And here there are sarcastically there are a lot of things he is saying, and maybe we may not have enough time to discuss all those things. And having a financial margin gives you options. So unless we have a finance in our hands, for financially, if we are not strong enough, and automatically everything will collapse, whether it is a family or even missions or even in the organization, anything. If we do not have a finance in our finance management, or finance in our hand, then automatically everything falls. And of course everybody saying that 10% giving charity to God, a church or charity, and 10% investment, and 80% of living expenses. He's also discussing about all those things, and put the value of things into perspective. uh, Planning in the financial area is very important, he says. And almost nowadays is almost all the leaders of the great organizations are understood, and they are following it. And he is saying that be grateful every day. Don't compare yourself to others. Give as much as you can. Financial strategies. And earn all you can, save all you can, give all you can. John Wesley is quoting John Wesley. There are many quotations he is um, uh, quoting, and really everything is a really good one, and we do not have enough time. Next he is talking about, today's faith gives me peace. See, faith is the anchor of our life. So I sincerely believe that the faith was the key to life meaning. And we are not it is saying that we are not human beings having a spiritual experience, but we are spiritual beings having human experiences. He says, and faith gives us a divine perspective, and faith gives us help today. It is just because of the faith that we are living, and the faith is trusting in advance what will only make sense in reverse. Then he says, the faith gives me strength for today. This is all happening inside, and faith gives me resilience today. So where there is no faith in future, there is no power in the present. If we do not have a faith in our life for the future, and we do not have a power in our present, faith gives the person who keeps the faith. Therefore, it's better to have a faith in our lives, and every day we have to measure the faith that we are having. And there is another way he is saying that um, in order to practice the faith, we have to put a kind of percentage. I know we can make our mark 10, out of means 3 out of 10, yeah, 6 out of 10, like that. So faith is the heart of life. You go to your doctor whose name you cannot pronounce, and he gives you a prescription you cannot read. You take it to the pharmacist you have never seen, and he gives you medicine and you do not understand, yet you take it. That's what faith he says. So we already have faith. The important choice is where we place it. Then understand that faith is often birthed out of difficulties. So when we are facing much difficulties, there the faith automatically comes into operations. And the faith that has been tested cannot be trusted. If the faith is not tested, it cannot be trusted. That's what he is mentioning, and for that he is giving good illustration, much illustrations. So, for following all those these things, four suggestions for managing uh, our faith, or the disciplining of faith. He says that number one, embracing the value of faith. Number two, put God in the picture. Number three, associate with the people of faith. Number four, explore and deepen your faith. This is the suggestions he gives so that we can practice it. And the next he says that relationship in the ninth point, relationship. Initiate and invest in solid relationship daily. So every day we have to invest something for our relationship. Why relationship matters today? The reason is life greatest experience involve other people. We cannot means we are not living in the forest. We live in along with the people. We need a relation. That means we need a relationship, and God created us in the relationship. So therefore, we have to give much priority to the relationship. We can enjoy life more if we like people. So the more become people are being isolated, and know things are happening, a lot of other things. And day before yesterday, we know that our music director daughter committed suicide, and even today I went to one place, and I heard the same story that a 30 years old boy married a 25 years girl, and they were having children, but still that fellow committed suicide just because of the depression or something like that. So relationship is more important, he says. You will get further in life if the people like you. So the people are more important, and sometimes we earn a lot of money and losing many people. So focus has to be changed. People are any organization's most appreciable asset. You know, and I heard means I remember one quotation by uh, what is it, Ford. of Ford, William Ford, I think, and you burn my factory, and uh, you take all the uh, material or cars, but give me my people. I will re-establish again, he said. So people are more important, he says. Relationship helps us to define who we are and what we can become. Most of us can trace our success to pivotal relationships. So in order to develop our relationship, what we have to do, place a high value on people. We have to place high value on people and learn to understand the people. And these are the really seems to be very silly things, but it's very important because we are human being. We need relationship, we need people, we need family, and give respect freely but expect to earn it from others. Commit yourself adding value to others. And Charles Spurgeon says that carve your name on the hearts of the people, not on the marbles. In the churches everywhere there will be no, in the marble, people will be inaugurated this so and so date and by so and so people. So he says that carve your name on the people's heart rather than the marbles. So if you want to improve your relationship through your every actions, then do following things. He gives three suggestions. Put others first, number one. Number two, give time to your most valuable relationships. Number three, serve others gladly. Number four, express love and appreciation often. So, if we practice these things, for every lesson, he giving some kind of suggestions which we follow, and surely there will be some kind of action will be taken. Then comes generosity. Plan for model generosity every day. So generosity, recently I attended a one-day program, and generosity is very important. And giving turns your focus outward. So generosity always not looking at inward; it always looks at the outside. Generosity is changing one's focus from self to others. Yeah. Giving Our giving adds value to others. The more we give, automatically we value others. That is indirectly we are giving the lessons that we value you or we value others. Giving helps the giver. So the more we give, automatically that in return it gives or it helps the giver in the maybe in reputations, good name, and respect, love, everything will be given back. So you have not
Excuse me,
lived a
brother.
perfect day, even though
Excuse me, brother.
time is up.
Due to time
Yeah,
factor, you please take 5 more minutes.
yeah. Of course, almost
Thank
it's
you.
over. So
Okay.
yeah, and yeah, generosity gives give others your money, give others yourself, and don't wait for the prosperity to become generous. So when I have enormous money, then only I will give. It's not that is not the right attitude. Just give what you have. That is the important lesson in the generosity. And he gives much priority to the values. Embrace and practice the good value every day, giving value to other people. And growth, desire and experience the improvements daily. If you follow all those things, automatically, and we will be improving in our personal life. As John Maxwell says that people without values are really having terrible problems. And growth, often the most difficult part of the upward climb of growth is putting into practice what you learn. Therefore, the 12 lessons that he gives, the if we follow all those things, today is the only time that we have, and it is too late for yesterday, and you cannot depend on the tomorrow. That is why today matters. So whatever we do today, really matters. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your excellent presentation, and also the book Today Matters is not only a blessing but also it's a thought provoking. What we have to do in these days, that what all the things that John C. Maxwell covered, all those things are very important, and in our day-to-day life, routine life, we have to, if you follow that, then not only we have a peace of mind, definitely God will bless us like anything. So now Brother Joseph Sundardas, you please give your comments, make it short, because the time is already exceeding. Okay.
Sure, sure, Uncle. Thank you for this opportunity, Uncle. Thank you, Brother Walter, for this wonderful book. I believe like today matters is an apt topic, as Dr. Karnagaran Uncle said. It's an apt topic because there is nothing like you can rely or you can do anything about yesterday and tomorrow. It's in Lord's hand. Like we are not very sure, because we always expect, as Christians, we expect what Jesus comes at next moment. That is how we started our life, and that is how we are going on. So pressing forward with that hope, like we cannot count anything much on tomorrow's instance. Not it's going to be Friday, but like in the future. So probably like what are the things like which caught my mind is like expressing gratitude in the attitude. So recently we had an session with one of the college students, like some of the college students.
Brother, I think you are in mute. Unmute, please. Joseph.
Can you hear me, Uncle?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So actually expressing gratitude, like as Bible says, like in all situations, in everything, like it is blessed to be gratitude and giving thanks to the God. So that is like practically that is difficult at sometimes when we face trials and temptations, or when we fall, but still getting back to the God is the only way, having that attitude, because like we cannot go away from God and find any peace or any space to get in. As David says, wherever we go, like God's presence and his hand is always there. So the attitude towards getting back to the God, or towards clinging to the God, is like I believe like that is very important to have. And another thing is like we always there were three types of people, like have been mentioned in people. I always feel like the all the type of attitudes, or three kind of people will be always available within us, I believe, because sometimes like we do not know what to do. We go to the God and get the answer, and we do. Sometimes we know what to do during some situations or anything. We know what Bible teaches, but still we will not be doing that. But sometimes we have an opportunity, or we overcome trials and do like what Bible says. So I personally feel like I have all the three mixtures in me like happening. So God should help us in everything, so that like uh, we get better in Lord. So almost with the faith and also the generosity, that I really love that part. Generosity is like almost like God wanted it, because that was one of the thing like what God wished like everyone should do, uh, giving to others. So and the relationships, that is what like we are failing a lot in these days, because we are not having a balanced Christian life. We are finding it hard to have a balanced Christian life with everything. So when we go one side, we are almost losing the other end. We are trying to on picking up stones, we lose diamonds, something like that. Like we are going behind something, and we are obviously not having that balance in relationships and people like who are coming up. So I think these are the very good things like which gives an thought provoking thing so that like we can have this be blessed with our daily works. It is useful to with us in the daily life. So I believe. So thank you for this wonderful book and thank you for this opportunity, Uncle. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you for your comments and the ideas you have put forth. Really, you have observed right from the beginning. And as you said, that the three types of people are not outside; they are inside in every one of us. So we have to overcome such obstacles to be with God and what to fulfill the plan He has got with us. So really, it's a wonderful thing you have presented. Thank you, Joseph. And now over to Sylvanus. Give your comments, please, Sylvanus.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle, for the opportunity. It was a nice book, and I thank uh, Brother Walter for taking this book to share with us. Today matters. Of course, the book is. I mean, the author is well known, renowned to all of us, but the topic is slightly different from his usual style because we've always heard that Maxwell is on leadership, and this one is quite different. So, of course, the way he took also it was very nice, and there are 12 things that he took us through, but I'd like to highlight only two or three because we have very less time. Uh, Something every day we need to give our importance is family, and I also have read about this Jonathan Edwards and the other one in one of the books. So, of course, many pastors, many ministers, many leaders, though they were very successful in their ministry or the field where they are, they miss to take care of their families. But I'm glad that today's generation is much particular about family. And the other thing is thinking. Thinking is one area in this era which is much neglected, or else we don't have any time to think. Our time is being taken away by somebody else's thoughts, not our own thinking. So that is what life has become. Somebody speaks, we listen. Somebody dance, we see. We are in a visual era, so there is no time to think. And somebody said when I was in school, I think, see, thinking is a process which is very active in bathrooms, restrooms. But nowadays, even restrooms are infiltrated with mobile phones. So thinking is reduced to nothing these days. And another thing is all the things are very important: finance, faith, and values, and all those things. Another thing is the relationship, uh, to value others, and we need to carve our names in the hearts of people, not in the marbles, not on the marbles. That is what the author said, which is, of course, something very important. Uh, in the rush of life, sometimes we fail to give importance to people. One word, one action, gesture, which hurts people, and then we say, "Fine, I didn't do any mistake. Why should I worry about the relationship? If he doesn't want to get back to me, I don't care." That is what today's world has become. But the author says that we need to value others, selfless love, as Jesus Christ valued every other person in his everyone he met. He valued those people. So, thank you so much, Brother Walter, for getting us through this book. And I'd like to read this book because of the exercise part of it. You told that there are a lot of exercises, illustrations, and history, and there is a place to make decisions also. Something like a workbook. Of course, that will help us to remember and practice those values that we read in the book. Thank you so much, Uncle.
Thank you, Sylvanus. Thank you for your presentation. And really, usually when you go through author John C. Maxwell's books, it won't be for namesake he is reading. He wants to have some practical ideas so that how we can come through. Because we can read in so many books the problems raised, the problems we are facing. But in John C. Maxwell's book, what we see, the solutions for the problems he'll be giving. That's a very, important point. A very good point to be noted. The solutions, how we can come through that, overcome that. So really, and also you were talking about that relationship, which is very more important. In each and every book, I have read some 2 or 3 books, but in each and every book, he insists on relationship. Without having a relationship, we cannot have a very successful leadership. That's more important in leadership. Relationship is more important because we know that we got a old saying that a man is a social animal. So we have to move with social in the society. That is more important. Thank you, Sylvanus. And I welcome Prince Haris, pastor from Ottenjatharam. And it's time to give a brief intro. And he is there. He is working with the New Life Assembly of Madurai, that ministry headed by the Honorable Reverend Dudley Thangaya. So our brother Prince Haris is pastoring in Ottenjatharam. He has got a wife and 2 daughters. And I welcome you, Pastor. It's a very great privilege for us to have you in our midst. So if you want to tell something, you can please share.
Yeah, I am really thankful for you all to hear you, and thank God for this wonderful opportunity to be with you all. Especially thank Sylvanus for introducing Brother John Sundar. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was really a great privilege to be among you all, and I don't want to take much time. It's almost getting late. Maybe in the next time I want to give you a review because I joined lately due to heavy showers and I didn't get the internet properly. But though I can able to hear something, grasp something from Brother Walter. Thank you, Brother Walter, for sharing those beautiful thoughts. Thank you so much. And you know what? It's my view that I really don't have a good knowledge about leadership. I really go after discipleship. That's what my passion. But leadership isn't. It's not a. In my opinion, I'm not anything contrary. But today I come to share some beautiful words that about caring of family through John C. Maxwell. Even though I have attended a John C. Maxwell's leadership and some years ago, I didn't have a full concentration about that. But now today I can able to know a bit of things like taking care of family is the main thing in the ministry. It's an essential part that John C. Maxwell has said. And that's a beautiful thing, really a wonderful thought. Uh, Maybe in the next time I will give you much reviews and the comments. Thank you for this wonderful time, and thank you so much again. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you for joining. We welcome you in the coming episodes. You please join with us and give your comments. Thank you.
Really,
and now over to Reverend Bhavani Rajanaya for his comments and presentation about this book. Welcome you.
Thank you, brother John Sundar. I am so happy and glad today that I'm able to be part of this program to listen to this wonderful book and a wonderful presentation by brother Walter, Venkatesan Walter. You sent a small introduction about him, which I think because of the time late starting of the program, I believe that he was not introduced according to protocol. But I learned from his testimony that he is doing a wonderful ministry in both in Gujarat and in Chennai, and also he was writing, having some magazine, Satyatodan, which was discontinued, and now he is concentrating on Samuga Arasiyal Desam, focusing on that kind of things, which I think is very important these days. And I'm grateful to Brother John Sundar because I thank you for your presentation and choice of the book. I don't know whether it is John Sundar or Walter's presentation choice. Whatever it is one of the important books, especially for Christian leaders. And I am very grateful to John Sundar for his love, affection, and respect for me. He asked me to program. I said, no,
Thank
no,
you.
no. Then he put me as a co-host. I just want to be a. This is honor to me, given to me. I just want to be a participant today. So I have, in the first place, I have appreciation for this book and the wonderful presentation. I believe, if I'm not wrong, I quickly went through before coming to this thing, to the Google, and found out a number of summaries about this book. And one of the persons was written very is Landray Dhanshi. I think most of the points yes presented. I found in his thing that is good. There are 3-4 summaries, 3-4 authors were. He has clubbed it together and used this some of his personal experiences also, not simply copying the same thing. Instead of that, the author is able to gather together various summary of the book, because the book is big and it cannot be presented in 1 hour time. And the key, everybody, every commentator, every review, every summary author has given this, starting with this saying that this is this by intentional and aware of what you do every day when it comes to these 12 areas. That's what the author says about the key idea. The key idea is be intentional and aware of what you do every day when it comes to these 12 areas. And then he listed these 12 areas: attitude, it is a health, family, thinking, commitment, finances, faith, relationship, generosity, values, and growth. That point by point, he has given that. But also there is in one review, one summary, I found out there is a conclusion about this book, which I think Walter has no time to go through it or present it in this. The conclusion says, rate yourself on the 12 decisions and rank them from 1 to 12. Pick 2 strengths to work on and pick one weakness to work on. Try not to add more than that. Reevaluate yourself to improve and see if you can move on. Keep repeating this process. Talk to a friend and ask, how will you rate yourself? This is the conclusion I came across before I coming for this. I think this is a practical aspect of what he has spoken in the book. So I also appreciate and thank all other people's valuable comments. Two things I am so I want to make my own. The 2 points. One is, I think already Sylvanus has made, and that's about the faith, because The faith is not constant, even in Christian understanding. Disciples in Luke 17, chapter 17, verse 5, the disciples, the apostles asked them, said, Lord, increase our faith. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up. You said if you have a faith of a mustard seed, you can move the mountains. So the level of faith for apostles themselves had never been the same level. So to look at this aspect, faith, evaluate the faith every day in our life uh, is something essential, which I think is very good. And generosity, our generosity is alms giving. This is the early church. One of the early church teachings is that it is a Roman Catholic Church only, that voluntary poverty and denial of wealth, acquiring of wealth, is not considered to be. That's the Christ said that if you gain the whole world and lose your soul, what will happen? To the rich man who was feeling very proud that at that time he grew the harvest was so big that he will build a new barn to store his harvest for the next future few years. The Lord speaks to them and says that, fool, if your life is taken away tonight, what will happen to your wealth? So this generosity is giving alms. It's related to giving alms, which was one of the, in fact, it was one of the practices emphasized by the early church during the Lent times. You have to give to your. If you come, if you take into the communist thinking, communist and the right and the humanist thinking, that it comes to rewarding the working yourself. It's not related directly to the generosity, but the idea is that you have a we have a song in the cinema. I don't know which picture it is, where it says, உழைப்பதிலா உழைப்பை பெறுவதிலா எதில் இன்பம் சொல் தோழா உழைப்பதிலா உழைப்பை பெறுவதிலா எதில் இன்பம் சொல் தோழா. It is in the scripture period that it is better to give than to receive. வாங்குவதை பார்க்கலாம் கொடுப்பதை பார்க்கலாம். It is a blessed state to give than to receive. So these are the things we talk about the thing. And what I would have expecting was that the success, we know that is a motivational book. We know Maxwell was a few years back. I was doing some ministry in Indonesia, and then I went to a place called Medan. It's thickly populated Tamil population, and some pastor there invited me. He kept me for 1 week. And then I visited small churches and spoke and all. At that time, I found everyone was having a small kind of thick, not small, a big file that he came there and conducted leadership, Maxwell's leadership training program, leadership, Christian leadership. This had been a talk of the town for several years, and sometimes it disappears. Then a success in the time is Socrates says success is not prosperity. In the world, we think that success means a successful man is prosperity. But Socrates says it's not prosperity, but perfection. Paul says perfect in Christ. So that kind of this theological, an introduction about him in the website, if you see in the Google, he says he is John Calvin Maxwell. John C. Maxwell, referred to John Calvin Maxwell, is an author, American author, speaker, pastor, and a pastor who has written many books. Brother John, as I think by mistake is maintained, I said that he has written 19 million. 1 million is 10 lakhs. It is not possible he would have written 19 million books. Maybe, I don't know, it's one of the bestseller books he has. Books are, I think you have to verify that. Maybe by mistake you said that or what. You can verify that. But it says many books. But in this book, I was thinking that maybe it is in the book there. It is not being brought out. I was looking for some examples from the biblical characters. Would have been a good thing, expecting, or from the early church history, or from the secular history of the successful men who carefully planned their days, put their priorities, assigned their task every day, and pondered over it, and then acted upon it. Many people do not know what to do, what priorities. Many things on our table. Which one is the priority? And one of the things he did is simultaneously finances also family and commitment, communication. All these things are not necessarily for Christian people, but also any leader who has successfully become a leader. There are also good leaders and bad leaders, like Hitler or Mussolini, like our people here in India today. The leadership, how bad it is. They do this job, everything. But so some kind of biblical examples, like people, whenever they say leadership, long back I heard that Moses as a leader, the delegation of duty, how his father-in-law advised him, you cannot handle all these things, you choose people. And the line management, in the management they say it is a line management, who is accountable to who has to do what to do, what are my job description. We say in the HR, my job, and I do this. I report to who is reporting to me. These are all management jargons for a long time, and then both in the companies, secular the corporates, and also Christian organizations. Whenever there is an organizational setup, we need to have these kind of skills. So it's as a motivational book. I think he has classified into 12 key notes, 12 areas, but right, and that has been one by one. I was trying to explain them due to some interferences in the network problem. All these things, maybe yet yes, finished everything. So I think this is one of the good books. But my humble suggestion would be, this is my area wherever I go. Not that people can like me always. We should also think of authors that we have from India, apart from taking cue from the foreign authors. We do not underestimate them. They are systematic. All of them are systematic. Also, they are very profit motive, I tell you. However, maybe they are ministers and all that. I have had the privilege of visiting many places and looking at these people at close quarters. But I'm not saying, I'm not criticizing them. The Lord has enabled them, used them as instrument. But we should also look at kind of authors. We have Indian authors. Like, remember there, I think you talked about Annan, Emil Jebsing Annan and his leadership. And there are so many others, not only, there are many people whose life history and whose achievements are not brought. The writings are there, books are there. So in the context, we should contextualize to our thing also. We cannot simply copy. That is always my desire. I do not mean to underestimate the authors, because we have received many things from others only, science, technology, anything. Take it, even theology. Whether you theology that we study, like for example, we studied in Union Biblical Seminary, which is approved by the Sarampur, whether you do it here or Pentecostal or from Methodist, basically it comes from, the thought comes from the Western idea that's being criticized in Indian circles for a long, from 1940, from Bishop Appasamy onwards. So those are things we should take into account, but it does not undermining them. We should try to put it these things in our that will be more relevant. That will make us relevant to our context, not to underestimate others. So with this, I like to thank especially Brother John Sundar for giving me this opportunity. Also thank Brother Walter for giving such a wonderful presentation, and other panelists who have given their valuable inputs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aya. Thank you very much for your suggestions that we have to also concentrate on Indian leaders. The thing is, we don't find, because this program being in English, I think how many authors biography or autobiography have been written in English, I don't know. So we have to find out, but we shall take it as a point, as you have given us some guidance, that we also concentrate on that. And another thing I want to give my reply, that I didn't mean that he has written 19 million books. The books that have been written by him were published. That what I read in Google. 19 million
readers. Maybe it would have reached readers in the. Check the Google again. Publishing. The sellers. It sells for millions of copies. Sell.
Yeah.
It's come up. It could be. Please check it.
Maybe I will refer it to. Yeah, I will refer it. And now I think it's time for our dear brother Walter to give the closure and this conclusion. Brother Walter.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving kind of opportunity. And Reverend Bhavani Rajan Ayya, thank you so much for your suggestions and other things. And of course, there was some disturbance in my network, I think, in the connection. So I'm really sorry for it, and I will be taking that kind of a small challenge. And this is one of the book written by Indian author Visha Mangalwadi, The Quest for Freedom and Dignity.
He is a great author, well-known author, and he has written many books.
So
I have
so
personally
next
met
I will be.
I have personally met him when he first released this. When he first released this book in Nagpur, I was working there in the National Council of Churches in India at that time. So now he is a very big man.
Great. Yeah.
Now he is okay. It will be nice. Do that book.
Yeah, sure, Angaya. Thank you so much, Angaya. Thank you so much for Sundaradhas. Thank you so much, and for all the panelists. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you all. We have to thank, on behalf of this forum, our Milgi TV organizers and Milgi TV, viewers and YouTube channel viewers. And also we thank our co-host and the presenter, dear brother Walter, and other panelists. So we shall meet again on the 67th episode the next week. Thank you all. May God bless you.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you once again, brother Sundar.
Thank you so much, Angaya. Thank you so much, Aya. Thank you so much.